up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. Now, if you guys have been following me along, you guys know that I have an obsession to replacing as much as I possibly can with titanium hardware. I've done pretty much the entire engine bay. I've done the TBW performance under tray. I have it inside the car, the back of the car, pretty much everywhere. I even have it on the axle nuts over here. It's one of those things that I absolutely love doing simply because it's all in the details for me. Most people don't end up going this far and replacing hardware with titanium, but for me, it's just one of those things that I feel like takes at least my car to the next level. I enjoy it and it just looks fantastic. Plus, titanium in general is a much more durable and it's corrosion resistant and everything, so overall, it's just a win-win in my book. I literally have it everywhere on the bypass valve over here, but I just got the Verus engineering diffuser, so I thought it was necessary to upgrade all the hardware that I used with titanium hardware. Now, I get all of my titanium hardware from Titanium Works. I feel like they have the best coloring, the best overall hardware out of all the companies out there. It just looks fantastic. Their burn technique and coloring is just absolutely insane. I love how they do this. And it's, like I said, it's all around the car everywhere. So pretty much all right here, all the nuts and bolts, that's for the Verus engineering diffuser. Well, all of this stuff you're not going to be able to see at all. It's going to be underneath the car, but still knowing it has been replaced, to me, it makes me happy. And there's a couple other things that I needed for the engine bay that I had been waiting on since there were supply chain issues and everything, and it's been, taking a while for them to come in, but I ended up picking up the Password JDM badge. If you guys notice, I changed it over here, and I've been waiting on this one for the battery cover. So what we do is actually drill out the rivets and then drill out the holes a little bit and then replace it with a nice titanium badge. Now, if you guys notice, this one says Password JDM, and underneath it has the reintegration to its truest form. That is exactly what this badge says, the stock Password JDM badge. But if you look over here, when they kind of just started doing it, when I got this, I think it was about a year ago, it does not have the wording underneath, and that is a new thing that they just did. So this one looks really clean with the writing underneath. I really love that they started doing that. So I'm going to pick up another one eventually to replace that one. But that is really nice. So we're going to replace that on the battery cover over here, and also all the clamps. I've been waiting on them. Mainly because, like I said, supply chain issues and everything, but I got them for the titanium coolant pipes, or 1, 2, and there's 2 over there, 3, 4. Then also when I changed over and changed the turbo and everything, we got the Cobb turbo inlet, all the titanium clamps that I did have on the car, but when the shop was reinstalling everything, they weren't tightening down tight enough, and it was causing some leaks and everything, so I picked up brand new ones to replace everything. So I got some for the intake pipe and also for the throttle body over here. I also got one for the turbo inlet, but this size is actually a little bit larger than the ones that I got, so I'm gonna have to pick up a little bit larger clamp for that one. But I may move one of the black Cobb ones over to here so it blends in a little bit. But again, it's just one of those things that I had to do. I love doing it, and it just brings all the details in and cleans everything up. So first things first, I think I'm gonna knock out the engine bay stuff just to get that done, and then we'll go ahead and move over to the rear on the Verus engineering diffuser. So before I actually removed the intake, just so I had access, I wanted to get the coolant pipe done because it's kind of hard to get into there with everything there. So I took the intake out real quick, but we got the titanium clamps on there. Kind of hard to see that one right there. And then right up front right here. So they look good. Wiped them off, got all my fingerprints off and everything. So now I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the intake, get those put on, then we can do the throttle body, and then we'll move on to this. Alright guys, so it is actually the next day, and I made a decision to change things up. I was installing all the titanium clamps, and unfortunately, they're just not tightening down as tight as I would like. They start to grip and everything, then they slip. And being that it's a coolant line as well as intake, I don't want any boost leaks. I don't want any coolant lines. So I made a decision. Now, I've already installed these. They do look really good. I have them on down there as well. But if you notice, I don't have any on the throttle body. I don't have any on the turbo coupler here, and I went back to the black ones here. So I made the decision to actually paint the stainless steel ones that I did have on already. What I did was actually sprayed everything in a gloss black to kind of match the ones that came with the cop intake here. I think it's going to be a better idea to do that, since I'd rather everything be held down properly than just having something for looks. Now, I really do enjoy this. I think it looks great, but I don't want anything bad to happen and have any issues just to get you know, a look or anything. So what I'm actually going to do is actually remove these. I actually painted all these last night, so everything is dry, good to go. So I'm going to throw all these back on, and I'll show you what it looks like. Obviously, it's going to look pretty similar to this since it's going to blend in, but I thought that was the better route to go because I don't want any issues with the titanium clamps. I got them sitting all over here, so I'm unfortunately not going to use them. But we're still going to install this and the Password JDM plate over here. So I'm going to get all the clamps back on, all the couplers and everything, and then I'll catch back up with you guys in a little bit to jump onto this. All right, so we got everything back together, all the black clamps on, so as you can see there, got them there. Can't see the ones down there, but everything looks much better because prior to that they were silver. Much better clamping power. I was able to get them tightened down enough that I felt comfortable. The titanium ones just weren't tightening down as much as I would like. And again, I don't want to deal with the issues if something was loose, so I went ahead and just reused the ones that I was using. But again, I painted them a gloss black, so I think that looks way better. Very, very clean. Obviously, the titanium clamps look even nicer. I'd rather just kind of have them blend in with the black than have some issues and I'm not able to drive the car. So done with that. Now let's move on to the Password JDM badge on the battery cover right here. Alright guys, so we got the badge installed, super simple. Just had to drill out the rivets of the stock one, or the Password JDM one, the original one. And then we just drilled out the holes a little bit larger for the larger screws, and we are good to go. This thing is absolutely beautiful. It looks really good in the engine bay, along with the black clamps. Everything looks super, super clean. I'm really happy with this. So now that we got this finished, let's move on to all of the hardware over here for the Verus Engineering diffuser, and then we can wrap this video up. So I got all the screws out, as you can see over here. But what I think I'm going to end up doing, there's a fin that goes in between the two pieces right there. And I'm not crazy about how much it hangs down. So I might run without this. I think it actually looks a little bit cleaner. Doesn't look as out of place, so we can kind of go over here. A little dark, but you can see what I mean. See, the fin hangs really far down, and it kind of looks weird from the side. So when that fin is removed, it's much more even. So I think I'm going to run it without that fin. I mean, it's super easy to reinstall. So let's go ahead and put the titanium hardware in and see what we think. And then we can decide if we want to put this back on or not. It's really simple. You just slide it in. But yeah, let's get the hardware in and then make a decision. Alright guys, so we got all this side done. This is the passenger side. So we got 1, 2, and 3 back there. Then up top we got 1, 2 back there, and then there's another one up front that you can't really see. And also in the back on the bracket, which again It's very hard to see, but you can sort of see the 2 bolts right there, titanium as well. So this side is complete. Now we're going to jump to the driver's side, get that knocked out, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, guys, so we finished up the diffuser. I'll show you real quick, but I'm really happy with the engine bay with the black clamps. Everything turned out great. Also on the diffuser, like I mentioned, I removed the 2 fins on the sides. I just think they hung a little too low, looked a little awkward from the side. So removing them kind of brought it up and closer to the overall bumper in the back. So I know it's dark. This is just the time I have to do everything. So there's the hardware on the side. I also replaced the middle ones, so there and there, and the same thing on the other side. The hardest ones to do, obviously on the ground, were the ones out back and the bracket on the sway bar mount. It's just hard to get your hand in there and everything, but overall, really happy. I love this diffuser, honestly. I know a lot of people are saying it's pretty aggressive, but I just love the way it looks on this car. It really fills out the back end, and I'm just really happy with it. So yeah, added my titanium touch to the rear, and now we're all done in the engine bay. So I'm really happy. I did wish the clamps ended up working out, but hey, you know, sometimes things just don't work out the way you want to. But I'm glad at least we were able to rid the silver with the black clamps. I'm happy I painted them a gloss black. It blends in so much nicer and just looks a lot cleaner. Again, the titanium clamps would have looked really nice, but I didn't want to deal with the issues, and I know these tighten down very well because they've been on the car since I got everything done. So yeah, I think that was the move. But yeah, guys, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it wasn't anything crazy and I was just replacing hardware, but that's kind of what it takes and the level that I go with this car, and I know a lot of you appreciate it. So if you guys want to pick up any titanium hardware that I have, you can go to the Titanium Works website. I'll leave it down in the description below for you guys. You can do anything from the engine bay, from the TBW performance under tray, all the way to the Verus diffuser in the rear. I even got stuff on the interior. It's all over the place. I absolutely love it, and it's high quality stuff, and it brings your car to the next level. And I'm so happy we got the badge on the battery cover finally. So if you guys have any other questions, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.